Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel Nifty Forecast and my name is Lokesh. How are you all doing? I'm sure all of you must have geared up for the weekend ahead. Let's quickly close this session of post market report and the trade plan for next trading day quickly in less than 10 minutes today. All right, so let's look at the intraday chart, 3 minute chart precisely. Yesterday we discussed that the option chain data that I create mentioned a bullish view. I mean, we had a bullish view by end of the day previous session, right? So I don't want to give it a full credit, but yes, the market has definitely opened a little higher here. It is opened here and then could not really sustain the high and has fallen down. But yeah, not a big fall, I must say. It is a range bound day for most of the option writers, and it being a weekend, not much of activity is happening because all of the players, major market players, would be in an easy mode, as in they just want to capture the theta for next coming days. I mean, there are 2 days of off, so they just want to capture the theta time decay or the premium decay, right? So not much of activity. I mean, in terms of volumes also, if we look at the volumes and compare it with the previous volumes, the average volume has really come down. So this day is not carrying any impact on the coming days, is what I precisely believe in. All right, so let's not just look at the data as in in terms of candlestick chart and conclude, but let's go to the data that we always do. This is the FNO bhavcopy that we download. Here it is very evident that there is not much of activity happened. All including the FII DI Pro and retailers including. This is the change of open interest, so you can understand the level of participation in the market today. So not much of participation here in next month and the far month as well. So evident, not much of inferences we can draw. So let's also look at the intraday volume. We will be looking at these major players, DII, FI, and Pro. What they did is more or less the same thing, as in not much of activity in either side. Cumulative figure stands as shorts dominating by 1188 contracts. So on a intraday perspective, if I had to take any conclusions, draw conclusions and plan a trade ahead, this number is not convincing for me to draw any conclusions. Although market has fallen to some extent. It has opened somewhere at 15712 and closed at 15670, so that is about 40 points of fall. Although there is 40 points of fall here, the intraday volume says only 1000 contracts on the short side. So no inferences or conclusions here as well, just to understand that yes, the day was traded with a negative bias, but how negative, not really clear. And the OI data, this is for a long term. I mean long term for us is 7 to 10 days, as discussed in my intro video in my channel. So not much of change. I mean, on the totality, there is certainly some bullishness present in the market. In fact, absolute bullishness present in the market from the data is what we get to see. But let me tell you, my friends, this is not the entire thing. As in, this contributes to the major part, but to understand the broader perspective of the market, and we should also be aware of the patterns, how this data works and what kind of impact it made earlier when the data was something similar to this, right? So that's how we can make inferences. There is definitely too much of longs that would also contribute to something, but again, the clients are aggressively on the short side, so there is a lower probability that the market will come down because there is a lot of goats, I mean, available, and the major participants would definitely not let the common man like you and me eat the cake, right? So they will short the market. I mean, they will drag the market down when we look for longs. Generally, that is the perspective. All right, so let's plan for tomorrow. Let's quickly look at the data, OI data. I'm sorry, I don't have the data readily available here, but again, there is not much of inferences that I could definitely draw from the OI data. It was a blank data. There was no call shots exited. There was not much of puts exited, but one cue that I could definitely see was a lot of puts being bought. That was evident there. Let's also look at the intraday uh, volume, and if I had to look at uh, index stock long, this is index stock short, it is index call long, uh, put long, put longs, and okay, this is the short position and this is the long position. So if I had to tell you something from the intraday activity, the short activity was definitely there. It is evident that over 1,11,824 contracts are traded on the short side more than the longs. Okay, so this is one inference definitely that will add to my data that I have generated from the OI data. Okay, here, yeah. So I just wanted to add a few little pointers for all of my viewers because these days I am getting some messages or some inputs from my friends. I mean, not definitely on the comments box, but some of my friends who watch my YouTube channel or Facebook friends. So they are asking me for a few pointers as well. So here I want to tell you that from the data, I mean, let me show it to you all in the option chain, that all the banking stocks are definitely showing some negative cues. That is evident. All right, so for the Monday or the next week, I would want you to be very cautious this time on the short side of the trade, because aggressively the calls are written even in, and currently we are looking at the SBI, okay, and there have been a lot of calls being written in. This is the status with the SBI, and it is more or less the same thing with the HDFC. Lot of calls are written there, so that is again a negative cue for us. It's here, a lot of calls are written, no puts being written, and Axis Bank. Again, we get to see the same thing. I mean, there has been a lot of negative bias in the market, especially today, right? So even the ICICI Bank, I mean, for me, ICICI Bank always had a negative bias from last 4 5 days. So all the banking stocks we have evaluated, 1 2 3 4 major weights of the bank Nifty. So I am sure what has to be done on Monday is very clear from this. You have to look for a short side trade, and again, once you see a very decent move on the short side or sideways for some time, you must be able to come back to this page and look at the option chain information. As in, it definitely needs some efforts from each one of our side to make money in the market, because it just doesn't happen watching YouTube video or watching to some Telegram channels. It doesn't really happen. We need to put in our effort. So maybe you should start doing, coming back to this page, evaluate all the stocks that you want to trade in every day. Every 1 hour, I want you to refresh this page and see what is happening. If you see aggressive numbers here on the call side, there will definitely be a negative view on that particular stock. And if there is a aggressive number of puts change in open interest in the put side, you should look for a long opportunity. So that is how you need to plan, and I am sure I have given you enough cues for today to plan your day well in advance and aggressively on the next trading day, that is Monday, right, 7th. So that's a little about the content. Please come back to this page again. I am stressing again. Come back to this page, see what is happening here, and then you have to plan whether to continue the trade, average the trade, or exit the trade. All right. Trade very safe and have a wonderful weekend, my friends. Have a great time. Please subscribe to the channel and spread a word on this channel to all your traders friends. Thank you so much for supporting me all the while. Bye bye.